Hey guys! My name's Rin, and I'm going to be a new member of the Fans POV, so I'll be popping up on these sound-offs from time to time, and you'll see me a little bit on the Facebook page, all that kind of stuff. So I hope you like me, and let's get to this week's sound-off. 3 headlines that happened this week. Anime NYC is going to be a new anime convention in New York City. So Left Media announced that it's coming to the Javits Center. I don't know where that is. Chrissy and Ernie might be able to help me out with that. It's happening November 17th through 19th in 2017. So almost a full year from now. Oh my god, we're almost in November. It's gonna be October in like a week. So the next headline is a cosplay fan loses 70 kilos after seeing a photo of herself squeezed into a supersized superhero costume. It's Batgirl. I was a little ambivalent about the headline of the article, but after reading it, I realized it was just them detailing her journey to make a change in her habits. After having her children, she kind of just didn't pay attention to her weight and developed some bad eating habits, and I think she just grew larger as a result. And she was asked to dress up, or her kids, I think, asked her to dress up for an event, and she looked at the photos of herself and was not happy. So she did the strong thing in actually exercising. That's something that I myself am still struggling to make a habit. And she changed up her lifestyle, so she's a little bit healthier now. She did lose the weight, obviously, from the headline, and she's feeling a lot better about herself now. So I think, thankfully, there are a lot of articles, saying fat people can't cosplay, or this or that, or da-da-da, they don't look, like the character, etc. I've always been of the opinion that if you enjoy the cosplay, then it's something that you should wear and you should feel good about. So I'm glad that she's happy with where she's at now. She looks gorgeous. If you see the photos in the article, you'll see that I think the happiness kind of comes out from her. So that's really good. The Take-Two interactive banners were rejected by New York Comic Con for nudity. On one hand, I understand why they need or want to censor material that's going to be, very just large banners at New York Comic Con, but looking at the actual poster art, I'm thinking to myself, it's really not distasteful. It's not sexualized. It's not inappropriate, in my opinion. We don't censor Greek statues. We don't censor works of art, Venus de Milo, all that kind of stuff. So I don't really see the need for that. I can see why Take-Two would be upset about that, especially since they'd run into similar issues with Hot Topic, so with their marketing, with the images they chose. So I hope they get through that constructively. I hope either New York Comic Con reconsiders maybe if there's enough backlash, or at least that Take-Two makes peace with that decision. It kind of sucks for them because they created a beautiful piece of art and they can't show it for what they intended, so I feel a little bad for them on that. So for last week's picture, we had if a red shirt, Sean Bean, a black guy, Steven Seagal's new bride, generic orcs, or Kenny all walked into a movie scene, who is going to die first? And we got some mixed responses. Let me just see. I'm not quite sure. That's a really tough one. I know Juan was stumped by it last week too. I don't know who I would pick. Red shirt, Sean Bean, black guy, Steven Seagal's new bride. I think Juan said Kenny, and I'm gonna have to agree with him on that. Um, Kenny seems like the likely suspect, and the comments seem to have been mostly Kenny. Yes, so the results are in, it's Kenny. So let's move right along for the con tip of the week, budgeting your money. That's always a tough one because, as we all know, cosplay, anime, etc. can be a very expensive hobby. My preferred method is to purchase small kind of clumps of materials. So to plan out, this is about how much I think each component of the costume would cost. So for instance, if I needed to make a weapon or, foam armor or what have you, I would purchase whatever I prioritized first. So foam sheets, if I needed to purchase tools like a hot glue gun or a heat gun, stuff like that, or if I needed to resurrect an old hairdryer or things that I've never done in the past. But yes, that's a good way. So stretching out your purchases, just knowing how much you need and when you need it. As much as I have done last minute cosplays and I have been pulling all-nighters sewing before, obviously I don't think it's a great situation, and financially either, because I find myself doing shortcuts and making last minute purchases, just materials in quantities way more than I needed, all that kind of stuff. So I think if you purchase items wholesale, like muslin fabric or, foam core, again, or resins or molds or things like that, that you can adapt for later projects, or, if you have already projects in mind, I think that really helps your budget, to budget out a cosplay. And again, it really is more of a time versus money thing. In my opinion, if I've budgeted, $50 on this paycheck to purchase fabrics and notions, and I can complete the bodice of my outfit or the skirt of my outfit or the lining for the outfit in that section of time, and then I go on to purchase next paycheck the armor components or what have you, or the jewelry components, etc., the circle lenses, the wig, this or that, taking into account shipping time and all that kind of stuff, I always find myself staying much closer to budget and finishing the cosplay in way enough time to even add some extra embellishments or take a little more time learning how to do something before sewing on it. Think twice, cut once, except for I never do that, except for I just made like a few of my first patterns where I've actually done a test muslin first. All of you are probably just rolling your eyes now. But yeah, it's a good idea to stretch those out and make sure you budget your time as well as your money, and the two will kind of marry together to make a good result for you, I think. So the cosplay of the week is Clara Becca cosplaying 11 from Stranger Things. So I haven't seen this show yet. I've really been meaning to, but I just haven't. I can't remember to get Netflix. And so, but I've heard great things about it. I'm loving the font, and Clara Becca really put together, from what I know of the character 11, the costume itself is very authentic. Like, I know a lot of those everyday cosplays seem really easy, but sometimes getting those details down and making it seem authentic and lived in, especially with a certain color palette, really set, everyday cosplays sometimes apart from the crowd. So I think she really achieved that well. And then another of the cosplayers is My Name Is Not Bruce. He did a cosplay from a show that I really love. He was Ash from Ash vs. Evil Dead, and I freaking love that show. And the cosplay is amazing. He has like the shirt rips, and his stomach is all bloody and everything. He's got everyone's favorite chainsaw hand. So definitely give them a visit. It's Clarabecca, and that's CLARABECKA on Instagram, and my name is not Bruce, so that's my name is _ not Bruce, and that's all one clumped together group of words on Instagram. The photographer of the week is going to be York in a Box, and I love York in a Box's photos. They kind of just ooze sunlight and all this pretty kind of warm cast to it. It seems like all these characters are just these beautiful familiar creatures that you're looking at, but they're real cosplayers, and she really gives them that ethereal look. I also like the kind of faded, not washed out, the colors are still very vibrant, but the actual photos have this kind of sunlight fog over them that really seems to lend, again, that very ethereal atmosphere to her photos, or to their photos. I'm not sure if it's a lady or gentleman. And they still maintain that stunning saturation. Definitely eyes stand out a lot, and like skin tones and textures, and it's just a beautiful way to photograph. So definitely love York in a Box. Moving right along here. Our page model is Victoria McGinnis. She's a model and an actress, more so now, I think, than she hasn't really been cosplaying as much lately, but definitely give her a look on Instagram. Her Instagram handle is Victoria, VICTORIA _McGinnis, and that's MCGUINNESS. Look at my favorite beer. Alright, so moving right along here. Let me see where I was. So catching up with our Fans POV social media, we've got the blog post, relationship goals. Who should you really look up to? So in that we discuss, we've seen a lot going on about the Joker and Harley Quinn lately because Suicide Squad. A lot of those hashtags of relationship goals. We're saying not necessarily. Definitely give a look to some of our suggestions and muse with us over who you think, what fictional couple do you think would be your relationship goal. Tip Tuesday. What are your tips to keep deadlines? So deadlines are a big part of my real job. And I have quite a few tips that are discussed in the tips for deadlines article, so take a look at that definitely. Personally, I just set a bunch of reminders on my phone or wherever I regularly look, and I portion out the tasks. So again, just like with the cosplay, set realistic goals for yourself. Go, I need to do this, and then I need to do this, and then I need to do this. One of the tips that I have for not being overwhelmed by all the deadlines that you have is just take one at a time. Don't look at the big picture of deadlines. Just set, a few certain ones for yourself, realistic goals again, and stick with that. Just tell yourself, okay, I've done this, I'm good. Gonna get that other thing done when I get it done. So that tends to help me out. I hope it helps you guys. Also, I have a running to-do list of things that I need to do, and I check this one spot. I check the notes on my phone, and I check my planner for personal things, notes on my phone for just everything kind of on the go. I check in at certain times, so I'll do that before I make a plan. So I'll do that before I commit to something. So I strongly advise that you guys do that if you're having troubles keeping up with your own schedules. Just put it down somewhere, get it out of your head, because I think you'll be a lot less stressed out. Watching Wednesday, Witch Hunter Robin. So I watched Witch Hunter Robin when it was coming on Adult Swim, and I was so excited for that show because the animation looked sleek and the characters looked super cool and gothy, and I think it'll really get you in the mood for October, so definitely give it a watch. For social media, Ernie just put up the DC Cosplay Steampunk shoot from the DC Cosplay group, and it's spectacular. So take a look at it. It features a lot of really cool steampunk fashions. People really went all out with their outfits for this one. You know, we had some cool like keyblade props, and I don't know what I'm doing with it. I guess I'm stretching with it. I don't know. Cool keyblade props and really beautiful like Victorian outfits and cool weapons and things like that. Kind of like a Alice in Wonderland theme for a few of the girls, and just definitely a lot of creativity there. I would definitely give it a look when you have a chance. Throwback Thursday. Ernie's video journal from Anime Boston 2011 is a fun time. It's not that long, so check it out. Features a singing Lelouch from Code Geass, and if you have not seen that, then I strongly advise that you do. There's a sleeping Mario in it, who gets a bit of a surprise, and jump on it. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. So, yeah, so that was that. I'm glad that, y'all stuck with me through that amazing preview. I'm clearly a great improv actor. So for Feature Friday, so you want to work in Japan. Don't think that's how I was supposed to read that. So you want to work in Japan? There's a panel at Otakon 2016 hosted by Diana Garnett. It was about her journey from wondering how to teach English in Japan to actually doing it. Some tips and tricks that she picked up along the way. Just saying, a few highlights there. 4-year degree was the way that she went. She got that. They looked it over. They're like, she seems legit. And that was one step in her journey. She's pretty funny, and she takes a few questions and things like that. So it's a really fun video to watch. So if you missed it at the con, you can catch it. Or if you want to see it again, you can definitely catch it on the Fans POV YouTube channel. And also, let us know if you took any of the advice. If you have any experience of your own, to chime in, let us know how it turned out, and good luck to you. I know it's a dream that we all would want to, that we all kind of have, or not all, but a lot of us have, to go in Japan and live there for a while and see the sights and get all the new releases and play the games. So that's pretty cool. For our Saturday skit, we've got the Otakon 2010 Vocaloid Masquerade skit featuring 9 times the Miku. 9 times the Miku! So, I really enjoyed that one. It's really cute, and I will say, as a fan of K-pop, I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you're a fan of K-pop, I'm just going to leave this here for you. So, convention update. We are going, well, I'm not personally going, but Ernie and Chrissy are going to Anime USA in Washington, D.C. That's less than a month away. It's October 21st through the 23rd. So if you see them, say hi. And actually, we are starting a new gallery of pictures. So if you see Chrissy walking around, ambush her. And no, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Chrissy. We only have one of her. So she's not replaceable. Please don't break the Chrissy. So respectfully selfie with Chrissy. Just introduce yourself, say hi. She'll selfie with you, and we'll put it up on our Fans POV page for the world to see. So get your face out there. The sound off picture this week is say a line from a movie and see if someone can guess what it's from. I am terrible at this. I don't know pop culture. Yeah, I can't think of anything. I only think of really obvious things. I'm sorry. But help me out. Leave a few lines either in the comments or on our Facebook page and participate in that. It's going to be a lot of fun to see what people come up with. Try to stump the class. I'm sure there's a lot of movies out there that, none of us would know what the line was from. So try that out. Alright, And so that was this week's Sound Off. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media. We've got a pretty cool Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Tumblr, and Periscope. So whatever is your preferred way to keep up with convention news and nifty things that we get into, if you just want to see more of this face, then definitely give us a follow on all those things and keep up. I'll see you on a future Sound Off. Actually, I was supposed to do the Sound Off next week, but our host this week, Ricardo, had some work difficulties come up, and so I filled in for him, hopefully to some good effect. I don't know. Don't abandon the channel just because of me. So you guys have a great week. Stay positive. You can do it. Get through it. Alright, I didn't mean to rhyme. Bye.